I hate having to hold this though, just to position it better. Hello, everybody. I'm just waiting for viewers to come in because I see nobody is coming yet. I am back. It's been a week since I've done another video. Once more people come in, I'll talk with them. Still only at one. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's been a week since I've done a live stream. I was in South Carolina because one of my family members got married. And that was the main reason why I didn't do YouTube videos for about a week. And I'm just checking to see if anybody wants to ask me questions. I'm gonna wait for people to come into this live stream so that way I can talk with them. And for people that are watching this after the live stream, I thank you very much. And if you have any questions after this live stream is over, you can comment down below. I will show some of the stuff that I got. And if there's any questions, let me know. Did recently have 2 viewers, but one of them left. Heavy Metal Turtles, just the sub. What's up? Oh, nothing much. I got back home yesterday. Well, it's after midnight, so technically Sunday. I'm doing just fine. And I'm trying to position this camera because I have a tablet that I usually use for my live broadcasts. And thank you very much, Happy Metal Turtles, for actually commenting or chatting with me. Oh, it's no problem. That is no problem at all. It's been about a week since I've done one of these. I'm so busy in South Carolina that I had no. By the way, I didn't have actually internet for about a week, at least not on this device. I did have a phone that I could use internet, and that was mainly the only internet I could use. I couldn't use any of my other devices, and that's practically what happened. I got stuff while I was down in South Carolina. Hopefully when more viewers come along, I'll show what I got. I might as well show you one of the things that I got. I got this thing. It also came with the device that allowed for steering as well. That's one of the things that I got over in South Carolina. Yeah, and I'm happy to be back home. Now I can do a little bit more. If you have any questions, let me know. By the way, I have another device that shows me the chats that have been put so far, so that way I know your questions. Fortunately, I can't do this while I'm checking the chats on this particular thing that I'm using. So I have two devices that help me out. One for my live streams, like I'm doing right now, and the other is for the chat. Oh, I have been making videos, but not within a week though. And that's because I was in South Carolina. That was the main reason why I didn't hardly do any videos for the past week. Now that I'm back home, things are going to change. You know what I did watch? I did watch while I was heading to South Carolina. I watched Star Wars The Last Jedi, which I actually did like. I actually liked that. I know that Zarin Isaac did a rant about why the movie doesn't suck. And I didn't think it sucked at all. I thought it was actually a good movie. Not one of the best Star Wars movies, but it's definitely a lot better than some of the prequels that came before it. I didn't get to see that in the theater, and that's the big reason why I watched it. I actually watched it May the 4th because it was Star Wars Day. And since I didn't see The Last Jedi in the theaters, I was going to go see it, but I didn't. I didn't go see it in the theater, so May the 4th was a good time to watch it. May the 4th be with you. I still got to see Rogue One, though. That's the one movie I haven't seen. I've seen the first 7 Star Wars before I saw The Last Jedi, of course. And then, of course, I saw The Last Jedi. Now I got to see Rogue One, and then eventually I'd like to go see the new Han Solo movie. That's coming out pretty soon in theaters, too. I think May 25th. So I might have a chance to see that probably in June. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do. And hello to the second new viewer that's coming in. I'm back after a week, and I was in South Carolina. One of my family members got married, so I spent about a week at my aunt's house, and then I went back home. The wedding was on May 5th. And it was fun. It really was. And by the way, this is one of the things that I got in South Carolina. And it comes with the remote, so that way, yeah, have control, and I put new batteries in it. I might actually get some more of these in the near future. Is that pretty cool or what? That's not the only thing. I got a couple of shirts, and I got a toy that was Yoshi. Those are the things that I got. I'm trying to think I did have fun, and it was enjoyable. Now, hopefully, I can do more videos. You know what I'm bringing back on next Monday? Moonwalker Mondays. I didn't do one this week because the thing about it is I was so pooped out from the actual trip that I just didn't have time to actually do a Moonwalker Mondays episode this week. Oh, have I seen your artwork? I'm not sure if I've seen your new artwork. Hopefully I will check that out if you have new artwork. I will check that out, okay? Oh, by the way, I picked this up today. If I can show it. I picked this up today at the bookstore. This is my first World Almanac since the 2013 one. I used to be a big collector of World Almanac books. That's the main reason why I got it. I'm going to try to track down the ones that I missed actually getting. And I still have to actually get one that was damaged in the mail. There was one particular issue that I got that was damaged in the mail. I'd like to get a replacement that's in better shape. There are a few videos that I'd like to finish doing, and hopefully I will finish doing them. Hello, Frank. What's up? Yeah, and by the way, I missed you, Frank. Was so busy last week. Unfortunately, I didn't have internet. The only type of internet that I had was on my phone, and that was practically it. I couldn't do YouTube videos or nothing. I was able to get Facebook and Twitter and stuff, but that's it. By the way, I didn't show you this, Frank. This is one of the things that I got. And I got the remote for it, so that way I can actually use this. This is the one. That was one of the things that I got in South Carolina, Frank, by the way, just in case you didn't notice. And there were several other things. By the way, I actually got this in the at the bookstore today. Used to be a collector of World Almanac books and stuff. Oh, you have the Mario this. You have this. That's cool. If you have this, that's cool. I have it too. That's one of the things I got in South Carolina, by the way. And that is cool. I didn't expect to have one of those. I'd like to get more of those. I'd like to eventually get Yoshi. That'd be another one I would get. By the way, I got to ask you, Frank. Do you have anything? I know that Gravity Falls, the complete series, is coming out in July. Do you have anything Gravity Falls related? I just had to ask that because I know there's quite a bit of merchandise of Gravity Falls that has been out for quite a bit of time. Do you have the Super Mario Brothers reprint book? I don't know what that is. I don't know what the reprint book is. And by the way, if you have anything Gravity Falls related, let me know. Because I don't know what you have for Gravity Falls related stuff. No, I don't, Frank. Unfortunately, I don't have the Super Mario Brothers reprint book. I don't have that. I think the only thing that I do have is the Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda. What's that? What's that? Because it was a comic for the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. That's what it was. I have the reprint book of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. What kind of books do you have, Frank? I just wanted to ask. And yes, I can see everybody's everybody's chatting response. Do you do you have Journal 3, Frank, of Gravity Falls? I just had to ask that. And by the way, anybody that has a question, let me know. I'm gonna try to. So you do have Journal 3, Frank? If you do, I was gonna send you that. Because you just have everything, do you? because I didn't expect you to have a lot of things Gravity Falls related. I just had a thought. I had a thought that you didn't have anything Gravity Falls. I was going to send you something. But that's up to you. Because really, I should have asked before thinking about it. Because I didn't have anything Gravity Falls related, by the way. No, I talked to somebody today that really liked Gravity Falls. Oh, did I have a nice vacation? Yeah. No, I was thinking about sending you something, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Since if you have a lot of things Gravity Falls, I probably should have reconsidered. Because sometimes I don't know what you have in your collection, Frank. Sometimes I don't know. Like I said, if you don't have something in your collection, let me know. See, I was thinking about you, Frank. I really was. I just wasn't sure if you had anything Gravity Falls related or not. Because I was going to send you something. I really was. Especially when you did something for me. You've done quite a bit of things for me. I was going to send you something. Sometimes I don't know what to send you, and that's just because I I sometimes think that you have whatever. I think that you because I'm not sure if you have things that I obviously don't know if you have it or not. See, sometimes I really don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to send you. It's kind of hard. Like I said, Frank, no, I don't. I was going to get something that I thought maybe you didn't have. I thought maybe that whatever I was going to order, I thought maybe you didn't have it either. See, I just don't know sometimes what you have and what you don't. It's kind of hard. See, I was thinking about you, and I thought maybe you didn't have anything Gravity Falls related. Guess I was wrong. At least I did something generous for one person. Told them about the complete series set, and hopefully they'll go to Shout Factory and pre-order it themselves. See, I was kind of surprised about one person that I asked today, and that person said that the person liked Gravity Falls, the show. I said, if you like that, get the complete series set. Pre-order it on Shout Factory's website. So I did something generous. And by the way, like I said, Frank, if there's anything that you want that you don't have, just let me know. That's all I really gotta say. It's just sometimes hard that sometimes I think about you, and at certain times I don't know what you have in your collection. It's kind of hard, Frank. I know that you did a couple of videos today and you uploaded them to YouTube. See, I ordered something today and I was gonna pay for it when it came in. I'm still gonna get it though. Yeah, I went to the bookstore today and basically ordered. Well, I had two copies and I had I had two copies ordered, and I was thinking about you getting one of them. So I don't know. Let me know if you want me to send it to you, Frank. Just wanted to let you know. Oh, here's another thing that I got in South Carolina. Just wanted to show you. Okay. I should ask you a question, Frank. Do you like the Mario thing that I just showed? And do you enjoy it? Okay. Oh, hold on a minute. There's another thing I want to show. I got this too. That's another thing I got in South Carolina. Yeah, I'm a little yawny, by the way. I'll be fine though. Oh, this is what I actually got before I left. I don't think I showed this. The 40th anniversary edition of Grease. That was before I left. Oh, you don't have it. Okay. That's what I'm going to be sending you. Thank you for letting me know. That's what I'm going to be sending you, Frank. You'll know it, but that's all right. I don't have the comic book issues. I know that there is a something that's coming out in July, and it's called The Lost Legends. I'd like to see that eventually. Okay, so thank you very much for letting me know. So that means I do have something to send you after all. I hope you're going to be happy about that, Frank. Sorry I spoiled the surprise, but oh well. That's all right. I'm going to be sending it to you. And the big reason why I'm sending it to you is because you pre-ordered the Gravity Falls Complete series for me. And I figured I'd send you something as well, because I'm going to be getting that particular book. And I figured I'd get you a copy too, because you did something for me. Because like I said, I've never sent you anything before. So you're gonna get something from me. So once I get it, I'll be sending it to you. You'll know what it is. You'll know what you're gonna know what it is now, because I already told you. Because I thought you had it. I thought you had that one. So I know some of the things you don't have. But I will say, once I send it to you, don't tell don't tell right away what it is. Okay? Have your subscribers wait, and then have them enjoy it. I want you to do an unboxing once I send it to you, okay? And I will let you know, all right? I haven't gotten it yet, but I will let you in on the details and when I send it. Yeah, because you've been so generous to me, and I don't even, like I said, I don't, like I said to anybody that is a fan or a friend of my channel, I don't demand anything. If you want to, like I said, if anybody wants to send me anything, it's fine with me, because I don't demand people to send me anything, because I'm I'm a generous guy to everybody. And I was like, eventually I'd like to send 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 things that I would like to give to anybody that sends me anything. because I'm a pretty generous person. See, I don't, like I said, I don't demand things. You want to send me stuff? It's fine. It's always fine with me. I'd like to, like I said, and I'd like to do the same thing for you in return. It's just, it's just sometimes I don't have the money to do so. But for the first time, I'm doing it for you, Frank, because you've always been generous to me. Hopefully, you'll do an unboxing video to your subscribers, because I don't think you've ever done an unboxing video. I know you've done certain things. It don't matter. It really don't. It don't matter about Peter Rabbit at all. Because the thing about it is, it was originally a book by Beatrix Potter, and I remember it well. I remember this storybook well. I wanted to ask you a question, Frank, but I can't think of it. I can't think of what I wanted to say. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. Hold on. Hello. I'm back. I apologize for that. I had to do something really quick. I had a question. I can't think of it. Hmm. And a question. Way off. I can't even think of it. Hmm. Can't even think of it. I'm trying to think of it and I can't. Oh well. Yeah, it must be gone then. I can't think of the question that I wanted to ask you. Dang. You're still there, Frank, right? Okay. What's your favorite Super Mario character, Frank? I'll ask you that. Since I can't think of other questions. Oh, I remember the question. I remember the question now. Did you pre-order Gravity Falls, the complete series, for yourself, Frank? I forgot to ask you that. And by the way, my favorite Mario characters are Mario and Yoshi. I think those are my favorite characters. Okay, so you did order Gravity Falls on Blu-ray. Shout or Amazon? Because I know Shout Factory is doing an offer for theirs, even though Amazon lowered their price. You don't get some of the things that Shout is offering, because Shout is offering for the Blu-ray set a exclusive linograph and 2 weeks early for shipping. Yeah. Shout Factory has the better offer, even though Amazon lowered their price for the complete series set. And the one person that I was talking to, I told about the Shout Factory deal. Because the one person I was talking to likes Gravity Falls. And that was the question that I wanted to ask you, and I forgot all about it originally, but then I actually remembered. So your favorite character is Luigi. My favorites are Mario and Yoshi. That's eventually the reason why I would like to get a Yoshi one. I never, I, I never asked you this. Do you like music, Frank? I never asked you that. And if you do, what's your favorite musical artists and bands that you like? I never asked you because I've always liked music. I've always been a music person. I'm not a really a big fan of the modern stuff, but I like the old stuff that I grew up on. And whoever is a part of the chat, Let me know what's your favorite band and what's your favorite artist and stuff. See, some of my favorite artists are the Michael Jackson, Queen. I like Black Sabbath. I like the Beatles, just to name a few. There's quite a bit of favorite bands and artists that I do like. Mm. Yeah, I like the 90s too, Frank. I do. Most of the 90s. Not all of the 90s, but mostly. And the music I like from the 50s, even the 60s and 70s are the best decades for music, Frank. Those are my favorite time periods for music. I do like the 80s as well because I grew up in the 80s and even the 90s for that example. Oh, you like jazz? That's cool. Jazz is good. See, I've never asked you about your musical taste, Frank. This is the first time I've ever done that. I have quite a bit of musical taste. When was the last wedding you've been to, Frank? Because I went to a wedding. Oh, okay. And by the way, this is a book from one of my favorite bands. I still got to review it, but just wanted to show you. And anybody that's watching, of course. I do got to ask you, Frank, have you tried Super Mario cereal yet? I just had to ask. I'm not sure. Eventually, I'm going to show my review of Super Mario cereal on YouTube. I've already got it filmed. I just got to put the finishing touches on it. You should definitely try Super Mario cereal, Frank, if you haven't. 'Cause I don't think I've shown this, but I'm going to show it. I kept the boxes for the amiibos just in case I ever get a Nintendo Switch. And I'm sorry about the lighting. It's just part of my cam. I'm going to set that right over there for now. Hopefully, you will try Super Mario cereal sometime. Trust me, You should try it. Oh, did you hear about Margot Kidder today? She, of course, passed away yesterday. Original, the Lois Lane from the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Yeah, it was kind of sad. It really was. There's still an investigation on how she passed away. I have no idea. Do you like Grease, Frank? Because I think I've already showed you this. I got this before I even left. So I know that you're the only one in the chat right now. Nobody else is coming. Oh, that's all right. I really enjoy Grease. And surprisingly enough, the version that I got sounds a lot better than past versions. So they always heavily made the soundtrack different from the original. They heavily remixed the soundtrack back when it was like they did it like in the 90s and stuff. The 40th anniversary is not like that. It's supposed to be like the original 1978 version. See, I grew up with Grease. I remember the soundtrack even. My family had the soundtrack album as well. I don't know if you're have you ever read the World Almanac, Frank? I'm not sure. See, what got me interested in the World Almanac originally was the game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego on the Super Nintendo. And that is what eventually led me to collect these. And it helped me learn quite a bit. And as a result, I actually got better with my learning. I don't know if you've ever read a World Almanac book, Frank. I'll just wait until Frank comes back because I see he's not a viewer again. Something must have happened. I have no viewers at this current time. If it's okay, I think he's back. Got another viewer. I'm not sure if you. I'm not sure if you were. If you heard my question, you never read a World Almanac book, right, Frank? I'm not sure if you have. That's what got me into learning for sure was the World Almanac. Yeah, I recently picked this up. No, that's what I figured. What got me interested in it was the game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego for the Super Nintendo. Because when I rented it at one time, it came with a World Almanac book, and that's what kind of helped me wanting. It helped me wanting to learn because at the time I really didn't want to learn in school. Thankfully, the World Almanac inspired me to actually learn. And I've only seen pieces of Grease too. I'd like to see the rest of it. And Grease Live, I don't really care about. I'd like to track down a copy of Grease too, just to watch it, just to finish watching it. Did you hear about Peanuts going to Sony? I don't know what Sony's going to do with the Peanuts license, but I did hear about that. Oh, you didn't hear about the the Peanuts going to Sony? You'll definitely be able to check that out eventually, Frank. I could do something for a minute. I just put the sound on. So here's what I'm going to do, Frank. I got to go to the bathroom. I will be back. All right, I am back. I, I do apologize. All right. You played Where in the World is Carmen Sega? All right, rephrase that. You have played Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego for the Super Nintendo, have you? 'Cause I don't know if you have, Frank. Yeah, I just got back. What's your favorite Gravity Falls episode? I don't know what your Gravity. I don't know what your favorite Gravity Falls episode is, Frank. I just had to ask. Oh, okay, you played Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego for the Sega Genesis. Okay. I played it both on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. I played both. Well, it's hard without the World Almanac, Frank. The World Almanac should help you out if you ever have trouble with Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. It makes the game a little easier. It's still quite challenging. That's a tough one for me, Frank. I'd probably say my favorite episode is around the time where what's that one? Not What He Seems. I think that's what it was called. I thought that was really good, and I also like the Tale of Two Stands. I like that one. I thought that was fun. So you like the intro and the music? Is that for Carmen Sandiego? Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about Where in the World is Carmen San Diego, the one that was on PBS. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I grew up on that show too. I don't watch it anymore. I did like both Where in the World and Where in Time is Carmen San Diego, but I will say Where in the World was better. I thought you were talking about Gravity Falls at first, and then I was looking at the chat, yeah. And then I figured it was Where in the World is Carmen San Diego, the one that was on PBS. Yeah, I grew up on that, and Rockapella was the ones that did the theme song for Where in the World. Where in the World was a lot better. I did like Where in Time too, but I will say Where in the World was a lot better. Yeah, I figured that out, Frank. Where in the Time was more like that. Yeah, where in the world? Not where in the world. Where on Earth is Carmen San Diego was the cartoon show. I never watched that, but I remember it was on Fox. You're funny, Frank. I'm where Waldo was. Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Here's Waldo behind Carmen San Diego. What's your favorite Gravity Falls character? Who's your favorite Gravity Falls character, I should say? Oh, you like Stan. Stanford or Stanley? You're probably talking about Stanley. What's your least favorite character for Gravity Falls? That's if you do have one, by the way. Now, if there were more viewers, Frank, I probably would be talking to them too. Because the thing about it is, I also did this for them. Unfortunately, it's just me and you right now. Nothing I can do about that. Oh, so you don't like Zeus, huh? I don't think I have a least favorite character from that show. And welcome to whoever has come to the chat. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always willing to take questions. Whoever's watching. And yes, I know you're talking about Grunkle Stan, your favorite character. You're talking about Stan. Yeah, by the way, whoever just came in into the chat, I just got back from South Carolina and I had almost no internet. I did have internet, but I couldn't really use internet for like my videos and stuff. And whoever you were, you left. That's fine with me. You don't. Whoever left, that's fine with me. If you don't want to answer me a question or whatever not, or talk to me or whatever not. I guess it's just you and me, Frank, again. If you have any questions for me, Frank, let me know. I'm always willing to take them. See, I'm glad I'm back at home. I really am. I at least have more internet access and I can do more videos for everybody. That's why I have this channel in the first place. I might do what I got videos again. And next week, I'm going to go back to also have hopefully a new Moonwalker Mondays episode as well. I just couldn't do one today. Oh, well, it's essentially Tuesday now. But Monday, I didn't do a Moonwalker Mondays episode because I was too beat from the trip because it took me a couple of days to get back home. No, I don't. No, I don't. I was meaning to actually get the Magica Gorilla Complete Series set, the one that came out before there was the Diamond Collection. I'd like to get the I'd like to get the old release if I can, because that I think has bonus features, and I don't think the Diamond Collection has bonus features. I know there's some Diamond collections that do have bonus features. And I think one of them was the Pebbles and Bam Bam Complete Series set. Also, the Magica Gorilla does have the bonus features. If it does, I might have to track it down. Because I remember the old release had bonus features. I wasn't sure if the Diamond Collection has. By the way, you are happy that I'm home, right, Frank? And by the way, I'm looking at the chat too. So don't worry about it if I'm tilting my head the other way. I'm just seeing the chat. Whoever else is watching, even after this is over. So don't worry about it if I tilt my head this way. I'm just checking all the questions that people have put down. Oh, by the way, Frank, is it hot in Florida right now? Because it was hot in South Carolina when I was there. That's where I was, by the way. New York isn't too bad at this time. South Carolina was hot, and I assume that in your area it's much hotter. Usually, Florida is much hotter than certain other states. It's been nice here. I will say that. I went out today. I figured that it's such a nice day to go out for once. I went to the bookstore, by the way, and I ordered something Gravity Falls related. One I'm going to send to you. And I also got this book today. Or, well, not today. It's Tuesday now, but Monday it was a pretty nice day. Well, it was rainy around the time well, it wasn't rainy in where I live, but it was rainy in certain locations where I was going back home to. I think it rained in Maryland and I think Pennsylvania. Because I heard by the way, I heard there was a tropical storm coming, and I assumed to Florida. The only thing that sucks about Florida is the hurricanes. When I went to Disney World, a hurricane passed through us, And that was when I was in Florida at one time for Disney World, of course. And I assume that you've had quite a bit of hurricanes uh, that you've been through. Yeah, especially with the hurricanes. That's mostly what the hurricanes does. It makes Florida rainy quite a bit. Now, I just wanted to know if you've had hurricanes in your area at one time, Frank. I'm not sure if you've ever endured a hurricane in your life. You might have. Yeah, I figured you had because Florida gets quite a bit of hurricanes. Yeah, hurricanes can be very rough. It depends on the way. Depends on what show it is, Frank. I haven't really watched much Cartoon Network animated shows in quite a bit of time. I think the last one I watched was The Amazing World of Gumball. I only watched a couple episodes. That was it. And the Looney Tunes show. And hello to the new viewer. If you have any questions, let me know. I've been asking questions, and if I've been turning this way, it's because I have the chat on this particular device, and that's the big reason why I have my head turning this way. So if you have a question, let me know. Well, there's a few. By the way, Frank, there's a few good past Cartoon Network shows like what the Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory. I did like those shows. Those were good. I think I watched. I liked some episodes of the Powerpuff Girls as well. I was meaning to get the complete series set, but I never got it. Unfortunately, I don't, Frank. Like I said, I was going to get the Powerpuff Girls complete series set, but I never did. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it to audio, but I'll still see what's in the chat. I just want to relax a little bit but I'm still going to talk in the chat. Am I still there? Hello, you still there? I thought I lost the chat for a minute there. I do apologize. I just hit something on accident, that's all. And no, I have not seen the Powerpuff Girls movie, and I haven't watched any of the new episodes of the reboot series. So I can't tell you about the reboot series. I'm sorry. And welcome to the new viewer. Right now, I'm just relaxing, and hopefully, I will put it back to regular video chat in a minute. So if you have a question, let me know. I can still see the chat box, and if you have a question, let me know. Like I said, I like when people ask me questions. Anybody that has joined the chat, and hopefully you'll have a good time. So if you have any questions, let me know. So like I said, Frank, I have not seen the movie, and I have not watched a single episode of the reboot, like I mentioned. See, this is my first chat back after a week because I was in South Carolina at the time. Oh, by the way, Frank, I do have Rio on Blu-ray. I have the original release of Rio. I just haven't seen it. I don't have Rio 2, by the way. I only have the first one. Eventually, I will see the first one, hopefully when I have the time. And just like with Frank, whoever is watching, you can chat too, comment, and let me know what you want to talk about. You can talk about anything that you want to talk about. See, I'm looking at the chat box right now. And if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I just got back from South Carolina. I was on a trip, and I went to a wedding, and it was fun. And I spent a week at my aunt's house, and after that, I went back home. And it took me at least 2 days to get back home. I actually got back home on Sunday, and Monday I was so pooped that I didn't even bother doing a Moonwalk Mondays episode. And bye bye to whoever was in the chat. Sorry you didn't ask a single question. Whoever it was, I'll never know. I guess it's just you and me, Frank, again. And I think I'm only going to keep this chat on for half an hour, because I think at 2 o'clock I'm going to call it a night. So if you have any questions, Frank, let me know. And by the way, were you very happy when they revealed the lithograph or Gravity Falls on Shell Factory's website? I just had to ask Frank because I wasn't sure. Hopefully you're still on. I don't know if you're still on or not because sometimes I don't know. This thing doesn't tell me, unfortunately. I wish this was telling me. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I have to always. Oh, I know, Frank, that you were happy that the complete series is coming out on DVD and Blu-ray. I was talking about the lithograph, the revealing of the lithograph before I even left. Did you like the lithograph revealing? Because they show a picture of the lithograph on Shell Factory's website. I thought it looked cool. I gotta ask you, Frank, what was the least favorite game that you ever played? I played quite a bit of terrible games in my lifetime, but there's some games that were considered terrible that I do actually like, but I'm just talking about games they're terrible that you don't like. I don't know which games you've played. I figure just ask you a question since I'm glad to talk to you again. I just can't believe it's been a week or so since I've done one of these. Oh, I thought maybe there was a game that you've played that you hated. Oh, I do get to ask you a question, Frank. I got another question. Do you have the Nintendo? Let me say it again. Do you have the Nintendo Switch? I never asked. I don't. Mm. I don't either, but eventually I'd like to get one. If you could get a Nintendo Switch, what game would you get? By the way, the game that I would get if I had a Nintendo Switch would be Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. And Super Mario Odyssey would be my second pick. You don't have a Super Nintendo Classic, do you? I actually got mine back in November, but I thought maybe you had one too or something. Nah, I don't. That's what I thought. I thought maybe you didn't have one. So oh no, I went with my sister uh brung us to South Carolina. It wasn't by airplane. It took like I think over 15 or some odd hours to get there. Airplane usually is much quicker but more expensive. I do gotta ask you a question, Frank. I know you went to Chicago and stuff. I gotta ask you, what was your favorite trip? I think my favorite trip is several times at Disney World, and I think, and I have a family that lives in Texas. I think those were my favorite trips. You're lucky then. You've been to California? I've never been to California in my life. The farthest I've gone to was like Texas. That's the farthest I've ever been. I will say Texas has great food. I'll tell you that. I've been to I've been to the Alamo. I've been to the one stadium where Texas A&M plays, and I will say Texas has some good restaurants for like steak and stuff. They got big food. I don't know if you've ever been to Texas, Frank. There are some places in California I'd like to go see. One would be the Schultz Museum. That's where the Schultz Museum is in California. Of course, the Schultz Museum is, of course, where you can see the Charlie Brown and them. Mm. Yeah, I'd like to go for California. I'd like to go to the Schultz Museum. And that would be one of the places that I would go. And another place, I think the Ronald Reagan Library I'd like to go to. Because Ronald Reagan is one of my favorite presidents. Did you know that? That would be another place I'd like to go. And I'd even like to see the Stars of Fame. Those two. Those would be some of the places I'd like to go see in California. So there you go. Where did you go? What did you go see in California, Frank? Well, you went to theme parks. Did you go to Disneyland? I've never been to Disneyland in my life. I've been to Disney World, but that's it. Yeah, you're lucky. You are lucky, Frank. I assume you've also been to Disney World yourself too. You're pretty lucky to go to Disneyland, though. That's way, way, way. Yeah, I figured. I've only been to Disney World twice, but Disneyland, no. Never been to Disneyland in my life. I did like the original Scooby Doo show from '69. I like that. You gotta remember, Ruby Spears actually created Scooby Doo in the first place. They would eventually make their own company, Ruby Spears Enterprises. My favorite Hanna-Barbera show is the Flintstones, by the way, Frank. I don't know which ones have been called a Scooby-Doo ripoff. I probably never watched them, Frank. I don't think I ever remembered Speedy Buggy or Speed Buggy. Oh, Jabberjaw. Oh, thank you very much. That was a Scooby Doo ripoff, or considered a Scooby Doo ripoff. I never thought about that. I never thought Jabberjaw was a Scooby Doo ripoff, but I remember that show. I do remember that one. It wasn't a bad show. Captain Caveman was good. They used to do Captain Caveman episodes on the show The Flintstone Kids. I do remember that. The new Shmoo I've never seen. I've never seen that one. And Clue Club I've never seen. The Funky Phantom, no, I've never seen that one either. I know those are all available through the Hanna-Barbera Classic Collection through the MOD program that Warner has set up, the Warner Archive. Mr. T, I remember. There's a episode of Mr. T on the Saturday Morning Cartoons 1980s collection that I do have. I actually do have that set, and one episode of Mr. T's on it. So I am familiar with Mr. T. I know that the complete series came out through the MOD Warner Archive collection, the Hanna Barbera. M Chai. I don't know that one. Oh, In Chai. No, I've never seen that one, Frank. See, some Hanna Barbera shows I've never watched. Some of the ones that you mentioned, I never watched. I know that there's one episode of Mr. G on the Saturday Morning Cartoons 1980s collection, and I remember Captain Caveman back in the day, and Jabber Doll I remember seeing on Cartoon Network. Goober and the Ghost Chasers I never watched. Never watched that one, Frank. Heard of it, but I've never watched it. Now, as for Scooby Doo, Frank, I like the original 1960s show. I did like the new Scooby Doo movies, and I did like a pup named Scooby Doo. I like those shows. I don't have a pup named Scooby Doo, but I know it came on DVD. And Mike Tyson's Mysteries, I never watched, unfortunately. I do like Mike Tyson, by the way, but never watched that one show that you're talking about, though. All right, so there's 6 minutes left. Now make it 5. 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Bang Face, I've never heard of, Frank. You're naming a lot of shows that I've never even watched or never even heard of. You really do your research, I'll tell you that much. I've heard of the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but I never watched the show Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids. Even though I've heard of the show, never even watched an episode. Josie and the Pussycats is actually one of the ones that I was meaning to get on DVD but never did. I did like that show. I remember I did watch that show on Boomerang at one time. Well, I should say a couple times. So I'm familiar with that show. It's actually based on the Archie comics. It's one of the Archie comics characters. And I do remember the movie as well. I remember watching the live action movie. I know there was a spin-off series to Josie and the Pussycats. I was meaning to get the complete series set, but I never did. I know that the spin-off series is on the Warner Archive. The Amazing Chan and the Chan I've never watched. And whoever is, come in. Thank you very much. If you want to ask me a question, go right ahead. I got 2 minutes left, and you have every right to talk to me. Yeah, because I'm only gonna stay until 2 o'clock. I just got I just got back home from South Carolina. One of my family members actually had a wedding, and I spent a week at my aunt's. And that's in South Carolina, by the way. I got back home on Sunday, and on Monday I was gonna do a Moonwalker Mondays episode, but I never did because unfortunately I was pooped out from the trip. So if you have to ask me a question, let me know. There's 1 minute left, and you have a chance to ask me a question. And Frank, of course, he always asks me questions, and if you want to ask me a question, let me know. And welcome, Blood and Vomit, to my chat. Uh, I have another channel for that, by the way, Blood and Vomit. It's called The Video Game Chronicles. You can definitely check that out. I might be doing more reviews on that particular channel in the near future. And I've never watched the Globetrotters, Frank. By the way, everybody, it's 2 o'clock. I think I'm going to call it a night, and it's so that way I can charge my tablets that I've been using. I use tablets for these live streams, and hopefully the next time I will chat with you. By the way, Blood and Vomit, I will do another chat in the near future, so don't worry about if you missed most of the chat. Don't worry about it. There will be more in the near future. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, everybody. And good night, Frank. And thanks for the questions, by the way. And thanks for that one question, Blood and Vomit. And like I said, I do have another channel. It's called the Video Game Chronicles, and I will be doing reviews in the near future. I just got back, so I'm kind of pooped. But eventually, I will go back to doing what I usually do. So thank you very much, Blood and Vomit and Frank, for watching, and for everybody else that was a part of the chat. Thank you very much, and I will catch you next time. Peace out, and see you for the next chat. And there will be more YouTube videos in the near future. Good night to you all. Peace.